There's probably not a day that goes by in your career as a mortgage broker or a mortgage loan originator where you don't have somebody ask you, well, is now a good time to buy a house? And then we look at them perplexed, sometimes not even knowing what to say. Well, do this. The next time someone asks you, is now a good time to buy a house? You flip it back on them and you state, well, it depends. And pause. After you say it depends and you pause, let them know there's 5 questions I need you to answer yes to. And if you can answer yes to all 5 of these questions, then you'll know now is the right time to buy a house. You see, most home buyers don't understand. It's not about timing the market. It's about time in market. And you buy a house when you are ready. So how do you know if you're ready? Well, you first start by asking this question. Am I currently gainfully employed and is my income predictable and consistent? If the answer is yes, I'm gainfully employed and I can count on my income staying where it is, if not maybe even going up a little bit, then I can move on to question number 2. Question number 2 is, can I afford the monthly payment? Not do I qualify. There's a big difference between qualifying for a payment and affording the payment. But if you can afford the payment that's going to come with the house that you're looking to purchase, then you can answer yes and you move on to question number 3. Now, question number 3 is, can you afford the annual maintenance? There's a big difference between a payment and an annual maintenance. You see, when you purchase a home, that home is going to cost you 1 to 3% of your home's value in annual maintenance. For example, a $400,000 house is going to cost you somewhere between $4,000 and upwards of $12,000 a year on annual maintenance. Annual maintenance is roof repairs, AC repairs, hot water heater replacement, etc. Now, the next question, and this is an important one. Will you be living in the area for the next 3 to 5 years? Meaning, are you happy with the town, the county, the city? And are you planning on staying in this area for a minimum of 3, preferably 5 to 7 years? And the reason for this question is simple. It costs money to acquire property and it costs money to exit out of property ownership. We call those closing costs. There's also moving costs, but usually the closing costs are the big expenses. When you're purchasing a home, closing costs could run you $6,000 to $12,000. Then when you're selling a home, you have realtor commissions plus you have closing costs, and that could be another $15,000 or even $20,000. So because it costs money to acquire property and it costs money to exit out of property ownership, then a great rule of thumb is only purchase if you're going to be living in that home for a minimum of 3, but preferably 5 or 7 years. That way, between home appreciation and principal reduction, it can cover the cost that it took you to enter into as well as exit out of home ownership. And then the 5th question that you'd have to be able to answer yes to when you're checking the boxes, that you'd have to be able to ask yourself, is now a good time to buy a house? Well, is now a time in your life where you have at least $10,000 saved? Because before you purchase a home, you should have money in the bank. And if not in the bank, maybe money in your 401k or money in a E-Trade or a TD Ameritrade or a Charles Schwab type stock account. You see, although there are loan programs out there that offer 0% down or 3% down, and yes, we can negotiate with sellers to pay your closing costs, you still need money when you're a homeowner. You need reserve assets, you need that rainy day fund, or there's always going to be smaller costs such as home appraisals and home inspections that you'll want to plan for. So a great rule of thumb before you enter into home ownership is, do you have $10,000 saved or do you have access maybe through a 401k to $10,000? So simply put, is now a good time to buy can be answered only if that potential home buyer can answer yes to those 5 questions. Yes, I'm comfortable with the payment. Yes, I can afford maintenance. Yes, I plan on staying in this area for 3, 5, or possibly even 7 years. Yes, I have at least $10,000 saved. Yes. If you can answer yes, then I can confidently, as a mortgage professional, let you know that yes, now is a good time to buy a home.